Good morning everyone. You might not know it, but this is already like the fourth take on this video because I keep messing something up. Hopefully that's not the case in this video. In this video we're going to talk about box plots for the second time. For me it's already the fifth time, but that's not your problem. I drew two box plots, and these box plots basically show you the weight of sheep. Because none of you are here, I have a lot of free time, and I started having sheep and I'm trying to raise them. And these are mine, and I basically tried to put all of their weights in a box plot, and Mr. Arts did the same thing for his sheep. Usually when people see two box plots and they say that this box plot looks smaller than the other one, that should also mean that there are more sheep in this bigger box plot than in the small one. That's actually not true. Let's assume that my box plot has 80 sheep, and Mr. Arthur's box plot, he also is bored and he also wants to raise sheep. He has 60 of them. Then I could ask you, who has more sheep? And then, because you know these numbers, it's obviously A. So what's interesting? We want to know two measures of dispersion. So what's a measure of dispersion? There are two measures of dispersion that you have to know of. The first one is called the range. And the range is basically the difference between the lowest number and the biggest number. So in terms of formulas, it's max minus min, or the maximum minus the minimum. And these box plots show you the maximum and the minimum. I'm going to show the range. I'm going to show the range for A, which is 140 minus 80, which is 60. Then the other one, the other measure of dispersion, is called the IQR. That's an abbreviation for interquartile range, which is basically the question, how big is the box in the middle? And if you want to calculate it, you can use Q3 minus Q1. So for the first one, it's 130 minus 100, which is 30. Okay. Now I want you to try and calculate the range and the IQR of the second box plot. And you have about, I could say you have 1 minute to do so, but you can take as long as you want because you can pause this video. Hopefully by now you've calculated both of them. For the second box plot, the range is 150 minus 50, which is 100, which means that Mr. Arts has the lighter sheep, but he also has sheep which are heavy. Then for the IQR, his Q3 is 130 and his Q1 is 95. So his interquartile range is slightly bigger. Which basically means that the middle 50% of his sheep are slightly more dispersed than mine. So keep in mind, whenever you're doing these exercises, this is basically showing you 0% of where it starts. This is 25%, which should make sense since Q1 is like the median of the first half. This is the 50% mark, 75% mark. This is at 100%. So if I'm asking you the question, let's see, who has more sheep in the range of 115 to 130 kilograms? then the answer might look like we have the same amount, but that's not the case, because 25% of my sheep, this is 25% of mine, is in between the range. So I have 25% of 80, which is 20 sheep. And at the same time, the percentage of sheep which Mr. Arts has in the weight class is the same, but his total amount of sheep is smaller, so 25%, 60 are only 15 sheep, which means that I have more sheep in that weight class. These are the most important things about working with these box plots. If you have any more questions, just message me and I'll respond.